The only thing I know about renewable energy is when I come home at 2 o'clock in the morning exhausted, fall into bed and get up renewed. That's it.
Thanks.
Early 1950s double brick house. It's got no energy efficiency at all. It's cold, but lots of character, we think, and it needs a lot of work when it comes to energy.
Actually, it does have some energy efficiency.
Where would that be?
Well, we had the woman come and do one of those assessments on the house, and we did quite well with our fridge.
Fibre sheet.
So how many bedrooms have you got here?
4.
4. Yep.
Yeah. And how's the house and your domestic situation powered here? Is it all electricity or you've got a bit of...
We've got gas for cooking, and the rest is power. Wood heater with a fan. As you can hear in the background, wash machine. And heating, we've got air conditioner and 2 heat banks
Okay.
as backup as well.
It's pretty cool in summer. The double brick's pretty good, and we stick over that side of the house, and it's not too bad.
Good ventilation as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
A house on a block of ground, no fencing, 1 tree, and took me a week to get all this grass cut. So I cut it down by putting my garden in individually and then putting the carpet down so the lawn won't grow. So that helps me.
But the Red Stores dates back to the gold rush, so it's at least sort of 1860s minimum. And it's an old building that has been rebuilt, it's been restumped and re-roofed. However, it is essentially as it was right from there. It's been operating continuously, I think, until 1983 as a general store. These days I run it as a collectibles, homewares type store. We're tourism based, although we have a good following in the local area. And as such, the shop is quite old with various problems that come with an old building.
And funny enough,
Fate.
power. Power, yeah. We lived in Sutton Grange in a house with no power, and this house came up for rent in My Road, and it was quite good. So we took the house on, and we discovered that we really liked the town, and that it'd be great to settle here with kids.
We were after a lifestyle change. We were headed for the big city, and Sydney, the big city, and we decided that we wanted our little boy to grow up somewhere rural, and we decided that we'd draw a line or a circle around Melbourne about an hour and a half out, and Newstead tended to tick all the boxes of the things we needed at the time. Things like a primary school, a bank, shopping centre.
Oh,
We're looking for houses around the Castlemaine area, and met a real estate agent who said, have you looked at Newstead? Is that how it worked?
basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
I lived in Beaufort for a couple of years and I lost my dad. That's why I went to Beaufort and my brother. And I saw the house with my friend from Beaufort and I said, that's what I want. And I didn't know a soul. And in 1988 it poured every day till December, and I thought, why did I come here? But then my friend next door, she took sick, and from then on I've just been caring for different people and then walking away.
We nearly gagged on our coffee when we got the bill. Yeah.
Huge.
About
Really?
$700, I think.
Yeah, the last one I got a couple of weeks ago was about $700.
The shop works out, I think last year it was averaging about $1.20 to $1.50 a day. That's all power usage. There is no hot water at the shop, so it's only lighting and heating essentially, and any other power like CDs and things. And the house, well, to give you an idea, our last combined bill for the winter period was $900.
on average for your... Oh, cut.
Tricky, aren't they? They don't even... Oh, yes.
Over the winter, we had a bill for $680, and we thought that was quite large. We also have wood fire heating, so that was on top of that as well. And we also use 100% green energy, which is more expensive.
Has that been higher than normal?
It's average. It's average for our winter concession. It has been because Hayley has a room in the shed over there, and she also runs the oil heater, so that's expensive to run.
I'm careful of what I do. I'm in bed at 7:30 and listen to my radio, mainly.
Is there any other big appliances that you use a lot that might use a lot of electricity?
No. Only the electric stove, and that's about it. I use a fry pan a lot.
How do you warm your house, Shirley?
I've got a wood fire. No electric fan on it. It's just the wood fire.
And in the summer, how do you cool your house?
With fans, standard fans.
Right, okay.
I've got a one on the wall, but I don't use it often. I watch my money.
Yeah. So, and we're sort of trying to get it to go through to the kids' room, but we've been using
A heater at night.
a
for the
heater at
kids.
night for the kids, which is where it burns up all the heater, all the money.
It's under 10 degrees in their bedroom at night in the winter. I think that's a wee bit cold.
In the last 3 years, we've relied mainly on wood fires. The house doesn't have any heating as such. We have a wood stove, which we cook on. In winter, we also have open fires, and we rely on a couple of fan heaters. We are putting in some split systems this year, so that will help. With the shop, it had a Ned Kelly heater, like a pot-belly stove, and so it was wood-fired. However, I found that made our display arrangements really difficult to work around, and also it is an issue for safety. In a shop, you have to cover it and make sure children don't touch the flue. So we've actually reverted to an air conditioner again, and it is a very inefficient form. It's an old boxy air conditioner. It does the job. The problem in here is we have cove ceilings and so hot air risers. We have ceiling fans that help, and that pushes it down. However, it is a big space. And look, most days you have to have the doors open for trade. That's how it goes.
It is. We've got big solar plans. Well, I think we'll probably start with the hot water. I think that's where we'll start. We haven't gone into it in any great depth yet, but we're just starting to
Think about
work
it.
towards that. Yeah.
We had a really old hot water service when we first moved in here, and it was inside the house. It was inside the toilet, wasn't it? And it sprung a leak, and we had to get rid of it. So we've put in a new one, which is now outside. What's
I've
that
no
one?
idea what it's called.
But it's like an energy efficient one. Runs off a
Little fan
Fan
and
and-
you get all your government rebates and everything back with it. And it's actually been classed in the new setup as more energy efficient than solar panels as far as supplying hot water, because you run your solar panel hot water and it has electric backup, which in most cases the electric backup does more backing up than the solar does heating the water.
I'd say we're a fairly energy conscious family. We're certainly aware of all the debates that are going on. We're involved with the sustainability programs and we read all the literature. Coming from an older house, we're really keen to look at retrofitting where we can. Obviously, there's only so much we can do. As for our day-to-day usage, I'd say we're medium. There are a lot more lamps I could turn off at night. I do wash off-peak. We're lucky enough to have an off-peak deal on our electricity. So if I can do a lot of things after hours, I set the timer and leave them go. So that helps a little bit. Our hot water does heat off-peak. Even with a new smart meter, we've still been able to hold a separate hot water meter, so that's good. But as far as energy conscious, we are, but when it comes to applying that, it's quite difficult for us because of the old buildings. So we need to look at insulating, all those things.
You have so many tanks.
Oh, well, it was so dry for 10 years. I had to do something when I got the water. I just had to take it out of there because you couldn't water the garden. It was terrible. I lost a lot of plants. Now I'm just going in for bulbs mainly.
I think that for any sort of project like this to be successful, I think it's important to remember that different people require different things. So there's going to be, even in a small community, a really broad range of requirements for different housing or shops or whatever. But I think from a business angle, and I think the current economic climate, I think the hip pocket is going to be one of the most important things.
You always think about it, but the reality is it's always a cost factor. I mean, in everything anybody wants to do, people will know that something is better to do, but if it's not cost efficient, people's budgets only stretch so far.
It's interesting to note, I remember my husband got one of the first mobile phones 25 years ago. He was a technician and on call, and I swear it was the size of an esky, and at the time ridiculously expensive. So I think over time solar as one renewable energy source has and is becoming a lot more affordable, and the panels are lasting longer. So the technology is now catching up, and therefore the price is coming down.
If they want the town to back it, and they want everybody on, or as many people as they can, to come on board, I think in all aspects the greatest thing you or anybody would really have to do their homework on is the cost efficiency of it. Because you're not going to get people to back it. It's a little bit like the scenario that I just told you about the hot water system. You're not going to get people to back it, or you're not going to get enough followers to make it fundable, right, if it's not cost efficient in setting it up.
In some small way, I think every business could do something. Again, it'll be a matter of the hip pocket and how much it would cost or what is applicable to their business. But from our perspective, I think that we would be interested in insulation is a really basic way to start. And then things like low energy light globes. I mean, we can start small.